Hi, welcome to Posca Club. In today's video we're going to try something a little bit different, not too much in the way of colour, but definitely one of the benefits of using Posca pens, which is the ability of the lighter colour to go over the top of darker colours. Okay, so these are the pens you're going to need, not too many today. We're going to use black. Here I've got a 5M and a 1M in black. The reason I've got a 5M is because we're going to colour in some black areas in here. The reason I've got a 1M is because I want some of these black areas to have some sharp corners to them as well. So black for colouring in, 5M for colouring in, 1M for getting those real sharp corners. Secondly, what we're going to use is a white PC 1M pen. So what we're going to do with this pen is we're going to go over the top. As soon as this black has dried, we're going to go over the top of the black and just add loads of little kind of features into some little characters that we're going to draw today. It's a technique. There's an artist called Brooklyn Snobs. They use it really effectively. Go and check out their artwork. Finally, just one accent colour. I'm going to use light green for my accent colour, but feel free to use whatever colour you want. Feel free to go with several different colours. I'm just using one colour for two reasons. One is I think just using a simple palette just holds everything together really nicely. Secondly, it means that I only need a small handful of pens to be able to do any drawing today. Okay, right, let's get on with it then. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use the black pens. I'm going to draw a bunch of, I don't know, shapes on here, and then when that's dry we'll use the white pen to turn those shapes into more robot style kind of things. Okay, so yeah, grab the fat black pen first. Let's not think about it too much. Let's just get straight in with these robots. Let's go for a rectangle to start off with. Just there. So this is A4 Art Gecko sketchbook. So if you want to use that kind of size, this will work out really nicely. Little curve across the top, little curve across the bottom. And then let's put in some little kind of shapes either side there. They're going to be like the arm holes. And then let's put in either side a couple of rectangles again. One there. And one there. We'll finish those off by joining. These are going to be like the arms. We'll finish those off by joining them into the shoulder section, I guess we'll call that. Like that. Okay, that looks good for our first shape. We're just going to colour all of that in black. So you can see how we don't need to use a pencil. We just do our basic shapes straight in with a pen. Might look a bit messy as we're creating it, but by the time we're finished, we've coloured in over all the lines, it just becomes a real nice, solid black shape. The other thing to remember, don't forget, is when you are colouring in, nice and gentle with your colouring in. Don't press too hard. These are not, Posca pens are not like any other marker. You don't have to press harder to get better coverage. In fact, the lighter you press, the better the coverage is, because what will happen is if you're nice and light with your touch, the paint will just sit a bit flatter on the surface. There won't be any grooves in your strokes across the paper. Yeah, and it'll just give you a more pleasing surface. In order to do that, though, you must prime your pen regularly. And priming it means to shake it and to pump it. So keep on doing that regular. Don't ever pump on your sketchbook. It's always a mistake to pump on your sketchbook. Have a little bit of cardboard handy to do that, because if these pens get hot, they do tend to leak a little bit on there. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to zoom in a little bit closer whilst we finish off this character, and I'm going to go in with a thin 1M pen, and yeah, just sharpen off any of these corners that you're thinking just aren't quite where you'd want them to be. Go and sharpen them off a bit. You might kind of like the roundness of a 5M line. Sorry, the roundness of a 5M pen and the corners that gives you. But if you want something a little bit sharper, then just go and get in there with a 1M. Okay, there's one. little robot shape. Let's go, and what we'll do is let's put in 2 or 3. Now let's put in 3 or 4 of these, and then we'll see how we get on. Right, let's go for another one. What should we go for this time? Let's go. Let's move over this side. Let's go for a taller one. So we'll start off with like a rectangular shape like that. Let's give it some, again, some armholes. But then let's put on the side of these little rectangles, put some little like D shapes, little C shapes coming out there. That looks nice. Down here, let's put a little waist in, and then let's go with some elbows. Little circles for elbows, and then what about little circles for hands as well? So let's move all the way down here. Little circles for hands. See, we're keeping the shapes nice and consistent. Nothing too complicated. We don't want to overload it with loads of different things. Little hands like that. Let's go and put some fingers in. So I'm just going to put 3 lines that side, 1 line that side. That's kind of nice. Let's join these bits up together, look, just with a straight line. Already smudged a little bit there. Don't worry about little smudges like that. We can make them work for our benefit a little bit later. Right, okay, let's move down. Let's go and put 2 circles in around about here. This is going to be for the knees. Down the bottom here, let's go and put 2 more in. It's going to be for the feet. With those feet though, let's just bring these lines out into a triangle that side. Triangle that side. Again, the same way as we did with the arms, let's just join those together. That'll do. Let's colour all of that in. Every single part. So all those elbows. Let's lose all of these shapes. Losing all those guidelines that we put in, those shapes that we put in right at the start. We don't need those anymore. We just want it to be a solid black surface. Nice and light with our colouring in. Just do one section at a time, then move on to the next section. Try not to go backwards and forwards when you're colouring in. That's another surefire way of getting your artwork to look a little bit patchy. Awesome. Again, get in there with the 1M. Let me zoom in, show you where I'm going to go with my 1M. So just sharpening off. You might get some sharp corners in there with your 5M. It's a little bit more difficult because the 5M nib is so fat, but you might get it. Let's go and do these bits down the bottom here as well. Look. Fab. That's a much clearer robot, that one, isn't it? Okay, let's try another one, shall we? What should we go for? Let's go for a circle. Let's go for a circle like that. And then coming off the side of that circle, let's put in some like sausage shapes. Fat at the end, thin there in the middle. Something like that will do. And then what about underneath? Let's put a bucket shape in there first. There's no plan to this, yeah. We're just kind of creating like these weird robot shapes. So just think about like arms, legs, bits that are hanging out, basic body shapes. down the bottom, let's put in 2 rectangles down here, and they can become the legs of our character. Just join them up like that. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Let's colour that one in. And I think what we'll do is we'll leave these to dry, and we're just going to work on these 3 for the time being. But definitely fill all these little gaps with other smaller robots. In fact, I might do that while I'm waiting for the paint to dry. And also, you know, use this technique for other things. If you look at the artist Brooklyn Snobs, his work is more kind of natural, like animals, wolves, things like that they draw. We're drawing very clunky, kind of solid looking robots for hours, but you can just draw whatever you want. Let's go and put in some smaller robots then. Let's go and do something like that. Oops, I haven't put the sharp bits, have I, on the bottom robot? Let's go and quickly do that. The reason we want to get that done is because we want that to be perfectly dry before we go and put anything else, put any other lines on there. So there you go, 5M there already, so let's get in with the 3M. Yeah, that'll do. Beautiful. Right, let's get back to the rest of our picture. So we're going to give those 3 main characters plenty of time to dry. In the meantime, all we're going to do is just fill in some of these gaps with some more random characters. So again, don't think about it too much. Just kind of put a shape in, just a box shape, circles, that kind of thing. Let's put in a circle just there, with almost a keyhole kind of shape. Over here, what should we do in this one? Let's go for a circle at the bottom on this one. Trying not to think about it too much. If you start thinking too much, you're going to end up making all sorts of indecisions and just get moving nowhere. So this one, we're just going to put a little rectangle at the top. You know, all we should be doing is like, right, okay, rectangle, what about a little oval there? What about an arm sticking out the top or something like that? Let's put a dome in there. That's a weird looking shape. But yeah, it's all kind of, it's squares, circles, D shapes. This one's quite big actually. I wasn't expecting to do another big one. I only wanted to do 3 big ones. I do feel like this one probably does need a little arm or so. Yeah, let's go for something a little bit weird like that. Just filling gaps now. We're going to do on this one, let's just put a rectangle, 2 kind of leg looking things. That's it. Gonna leave it there for now. Just quickly getting in with the thin pen, sharpen all these corners off. Just adding that little bit of finesse. Yeah, don't need it. That's quite sharp all the way around there. Let's just quickly do these bits. Beautiful. So I'll tell you what I am going to do. Just on this top one here, I just want to put a little antenna. There you go. Little antenna, little dome there where it kind of comes out the head. That looks nice. I really like that. You might want to put one on here as well. We're going to put some sirens and things on, so don't worry too much about getting those bits done. That is a really good point. Now, at this stage, you kind of want to leave it to dry as long as possible. I'm going to get on quite quickly because I want this to be a nice quick drawing tutorial for you, but ideally you want to leave this as long as possible to let everything dry as much as possible. Okay, right then. 24 hours is usually a good amount of time for stuff to dry. But let's see if we can get on now, shall we? So I'm going to go into each robot in the order in which I drew them. I'm going to get right close in with my thin 1M white pen and add loads of details. Okay, so grab your 1M white pen. So the difference between a 1M and a 1MR, this is a PC1M, as you can see. PC1M is just a plastic nib like that. It's like a triangular, almost like a bullet kind of tip to it. The PC1MR is also a plastic nib, but it's got a metal casing around it. What you kind of find is that one is very smooth. The 1MR is very smooth. The 1M is a little bit scratchy. It depends what kind of feedback you like. If you like to be able to feel where you're drawing, the 1M is the pen for you. If you like to be able to not feel that and have it nice and smooth, then the 1MR is the pen for you. Right then, let's get on with this character here, shall we? So let's go and put the main blocks into the body first. Let's bring these lines back. Look. See how we're just going through that with the white. Look. Just separate those arms. Let's take those off first. Also on those arms, let's go on the outside just here. So we're just separating all the sections off. What about this bit as well? See how already that's starting to look a little bit more interesting because we've got all these little tiny sections coming off. Let's do something at the top here. So we've got all those little sections coming out. Okay. That's looking good, but let's keep on going with that, shall we? Let's go and let's go and work on this body. Let's put in a line that goes all the way across. And then right from the bottom here, another line goes all the way across. Let's go right through the middle. And then let's go and put some eyes in at the top here. I'm going to put the eyes in here, let's say. Got like a D shape just hanging off the bottom. But then also some eyes just there. Yeah, they kind of look like eyes, don't they? That's pretty good. Across here, look, let's put in 2 lines. And let's take those out on the other side. all we're doing, we're just going to carry on with this. We're just going to go crazy on this character and see what we can do to it. Let's get into those arms. Now, with those arms being like bendy arms, what we can do is we can just start separating it off. I put a little line there, and then let's put another two. Look, 1, 2 there, 2 on the other side, 1, 2 there. That looks pretty nice. Let's do the same kind of thing on the other side. So 1 in the middle, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's get into these bits, these kind of hand bits. Let's put in a line there, a line about halfway down, and then 2 at the bottom. Watch this then, let's just put in a little box in there. Little box in there as well. Beautiful. You could even put some little dots in, look. Do whatever you want, just have a load of fun with it. See where it takes you. Let's try and do something similar over the other side. So we had a line at the top, we had a line about there, and we had 2 down the bottom. See how we're getting a bit quicker now because we know what we're doing. Then we've got these 2 little boxes. Oh no, we didn't. We did these dots at the bottom, didn't we? Then we've got those little boxes. What do we think? That's not bad. Let's just go and put in some little circles. Yeah, anything else you want to put in, now's the time to put in. It's pretty good. We'll come back to that. We're going to come back with the colour right at the end, but let's go move on to the next robot. Okay, that was a pretty good one. Let's go and move on to this one standing over here. We're going to do the same as we did before. Let's just go and separate all those sections off again with little white lines. So yeah, let's go for this body first. Look, separate that. Shoulder joint. Get around the arms. I should point out as well that this technique only really works if you're using a white sketchbook. So if you're working on cardboard, this technique isn't really going to work quite the same for you. Let's take out those fingers, and then let's do the same on the other side. Down at the bottom, just separating all of the elements up again. We'll put some extra little details in, but let's just get these basic bits done first. That's our starting point. Then let's get in with our character. What else are we going to do? Let's go and put a little camera bit in here. So let's go down from there. Draw a circle around there, knowing that what we'll do is we'll probably just drop a little bit of green in there later. Let's put a little circle up there as well. That's nice. Those arms, let's go and work on those arms next. We'll come and do something else in the body in a bit, but look, just some little stripes. Try not to think too much about it. Just go and throw them in. If it looks good, carry on doing it. If it doesn't look good, don't do it anymore. Drawing really should be as easy as that for you. Let's go and separate those fingers out as well. See, we've got those smudge bits. Let's get rid of those smudges. Make those disappear. Alright, well, what are we going to do in that body area? I feel like we should probably put something in. Let's go and put in a curve all the way from one side to the other. Look. Curve from one side to the other, and then line, 2 lines going up. No right or wrong with this, just try something out, see if it works. Let's put in a curve there, curve there. Got a bit of a robot 6-pack coming along there, that's quite nice. Little circle there, finish that off. It's getting down into this body. Let's change the shape of the body down here a little bit. Let's just put a line through the middle. What else can we do? Let's curve those around. Look, change my mind on the shape I want for those. Let's do that. Legs, I guess we've got to go the same as the arms. Let's do that. That feels right to me. Inside every joint, let's go and put a little circle. And then what do we do in the feet? Let's try a bouncy line. Little circle in the heel. Whatever you want really, it doesn't have to be the same as what I'm going for. You do whatever you want on yours. Okay, that's not too bad a looking little robot. Let's go to the next one. What are we going to do in this one? Got lots of space to play around with in this one. Let's do our usual thing. Let's section everything off first. Not too much to worry about on this one. Let's get into this part up here. So let's go and put a circle in at the top to start with. That looks pretty nice. What about a line going all the way up? Let's try some random little lines like that. Go and throw those in, see what happens. We could even put in, let's kind of put a little bit around there so it looks like the arm is attached into that piece. That looks pretty good. Little square there. Let's get into these arms. Let's first of all let's give it some elbows. So just a little half circle, line across. Half circle, line across for some elbows. Up the top, let's give it just some lines going across again. 1, 2, 3. Same on this side. 1, 2, 3. Not thinking about it too much. Down the bottom here, let's go and put a double line like that, and then some lines inside there. And really, you're just experimenting with this. Just go and put in some sections. Section things out, put a little pattern in, whatever you want really. Yeah, those arms look nice. Let's get into that body. What we're going to do in the body. How about we put a smaller bucket in? Or a thinner bucket. Thinner bucket like that. Let's bring some lines going off the outside lip. That looks alright. Little circle. We're just really getting into the swing of things now. We don't have to worry too much about how things look. Let's just mess around with it. Let's try this. Let's put 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Let's join those together though. Let's go 1 on the outside there. Join those 3 together there. Another one on the outside there. That's not a bad looking little shape. Any of these shapes that you do and you think, actually I like how that looks, just feel free to adapt it. Go and put it on another one. Little line off the bottom there, just so it makes it look like the feet. Beautiful. This is really coming alive now. Like how it's looking. Let's all those other little smaller characters, let's go and do those as well. I'm going to start with this one. I'm not going to do anything too complex with these though. Let's just separate that into sections. Let's put a few little circles in. Yeah, maybe take out a little bit there as well, just to break it up a bit. What are we doing on this one? Let's just 2 circles across the top. That's all I'm putting in. Let's put a little line across the bottom as well. Nice. This one's quite a big one. Let's go and play around with this. Sectioning these bits off first. What can we do in that one? So this dome, this feels like a head, so let's put in a mouth, just a little upside down U shape, a couple of eyes. That looks pretty cool. Leave it like that. Getting into the body, what we're going to do in the body. Let's go for circle in the middle, and then we're going to do a line that goes across over the circle and back to the other side. Cross over the circle, other side. Yeah, looks okay. Couple more circles in. Let's put some little lines on those arms. Little lines on this bit as well. Let's keep them quite close together. See what that looks like. That looks pretty cool. Down in this bottom section, this wheel. What are we going to do in there? Let's put a circle. A line going from top to bottom of that circle. Let's leave that like that. Nothing too complicated. Here we go. Just Let's finish these off. Don't think about it too much. Just go and chuck some random lines in, some circles, lines, separating things off first. What's this one going to have? Let's put a couple of eyes. Beautiful. Right, these are all looking great. We're going to go on. We're going to do 2 more stages of it. The next stage we're going to do, let's go and put a little tiny bit of colour on this. So I had a light green. I'll be honest with you, I had a light green in a 5M. But what I might do is I might just go and use my 3M. Just because it's a little bit thinner. And I think we can make it work a little bit better in here with a thinner 3M. You might be able to get away with a 5M. Just use whatever you've got, really. That's always my answer. Just use whatever you've got. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as what I've got. And all we're going to do is just going to go into each one of these and just add some green or some accent colour elements. Things like this. Like on this one, look, I think there's an eye at the top there. So let's go and some sort of antenna there. But I also think these bits here, these look like there might be rocket packs or something. So let's go and put in a little D shape under there as well. Look. What about just drop a little bit of colour into those? Nice. Don't overload it. You don't have to put too much in there. Just a little touch of colour. Let's get into this tall, skinny robot. There's 2 things I'm going to do on this one. One is I definitely want to put in this bit, just it's begging for a bit of colour in there. When you're colouring in these as well, because this has only just been painted, try not to go over it too many times. Just give it 1 stroke, let it dry, give it another stroke. If you keep on going over it, all you're going to do is start muddying up the black that's underneath, okay? Let's go and put a little siren across the top. Look. Say little. It's quite a massive siren. That's good for that character. Let's go move on to the next one. Remember this one? Let's put in this again. We've got this eye kind of shape. Pressing really, really gently just so that we can lay a nice coat of paint on there without trying to disturb too much of the underside of it. Let's go and put something in the body there. That looks good. What about some little digits coming off there? Look. Yeah, that looks okay. So there's our accent colour. Nice, easy little bits. You could put all sorts on here. You can put like big windows where you can have little tiny robots sitting inside. Laser beams, all sorts you can put on there. Okay, I'm going to go in with this with all my smaller characters now. Starting to add in little bits of colour in there. What am I going to do on that one? This one is just going to be this bit down here, I think. Let's put on, yeah, work with me on this one. Let's just put these 2 circles here. We'll connect those together a little bit later. Down here we've definitely got some eye looking things. That'll do quite nicely. And in this one, another little eye looking thing. Okay, last stage. Last thing to do with this one, let's go and grab our 1M again. What we're going to do now is just going to add some extra little features. And the things we're going to add are like cables and stuff like that. That's just going to be connecting bits together. Okay, so yeah, let's start with our, go back to our original robot, that one there. And let's go and add a few more bits in. So the things I'm going to add in are just like extra antennas. stuff like that. See how it's all lopsided? That's good. That's kind of what we want. But also just be kind of adding some extra cables and things like that. Let's add a cable there, and a cable there. Let's go and put something down here. Look. A couple more cables just kind of hanging down at the bottom there. Awesome. See what I mean? Just nice little simple bits like that. Let's get into our skinny robot where we're going to add the cables on our skinny robot. What I kind of want to do is just want to add something to these arms. So watch this. Look, let's go from here with a little cable. Let's do the same on the legs. What else should we do? Let's do we want the feet connected as well? I'm probably not going to put the feet in. Let's go and just give it a little antenna up there. Maybe a little roof on the top of our siren. Lovely. Doesn't need to be too much. Last one over here. What are we going to add on this one? So here we go. Let's go and add some little cables in. Let's go do some in the connecting the head to the body like that. What else? Let's go and put one there. You can see how these don't need to be the same on both sides. You can mix them up a little bit. What about some little horns? Play around with it. Try something different that hasn't been tried before. If you need to tidy up any of these, see, I went over the green a little bit too much to this there. If you need to tidy those up as well. Just little lines sticking out, things like that. All good fun. Let's get rid of that little white dots. That'll bother somebody. I know it will. There you go. Let's try and do something similar to the other ones. Let's go and put some cables in. Again, not thinking about it too much. I know I keep saying that, but it's really important that you don't overcomplicate things by thinking about what you're going to do. Let's get in here. Let's join these bits up. So a little line pointing to the eye connects those little antennas up. What about some spiky bits on the shoulders? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one's definitely got space for some cables. Look. Tiny robots. What we got? Let's put a little handle on this one. Look, little handle is good. This one can have. What about if we put some weird-looking arms? Beautiful. So last thing actually we will do, this is an optional piece, but I think it will look great, is just where we've got those little bits of green, just go and put some little bits of white in there, give it a little bit of a shine in some certain areas. There we go. Down here, let's do a circle in this one. Just to make it look a bit more reflective. Yeah, so like I said, it was going to be a very different session. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to give it a little signature down here. Once that signature's dry, might go over it with a little bit of white so that it kind of falls in line with the rest. But yeah, try this out yourself. You know, just try taking the arms off of one character, put them on the other character, taking these arms from here and putting them down here, these arms from here, turning them into ears on this character. Whatever you want, just mix it up as much as possible. Might even see if I can do you some prompt cards to help you with picking these shapes and what lines to put on the inside if you're struggling to get started. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Something a little bit different. Tag me in your drawings. I'll see you in the next video.